Congratulations on the movie. I was very touched by. It feels like like an impressionism and surrealism, and I know the inspiration comes from a 1921 very reverent comic person, an animated. Could you explain a little the origin of the film?
Yeah, that 1920, is Winsor McCay, a great master of animation who did like Gertie the Dinosaur and Little Nemo and Slumberland. But this one he was unfinished, and it's on YouTube. It has a great kind of adult, sexy quality of half nude centaurs in a forest, and it was kind of like, here's this master of animation where he saw that drawing as a way of depicting mythological beings. They can't be photographed, and so that was super inspiring.
I felt like, yeah, it was as a positive thing. I felt that it was like doing LSD and going into a story like that. Wonderful. For me, it was. No, I describe it like that because it's a very alternative world, but at the same time, there are many references to our daily life. I felt like sometimes I was at Chernobyl, sometimes I was in a world that is all mythology, and Adam and Eve. It was very complex. I mean, you guys did a great job. Can you tell us about the process of creating this universe?
Well, the film really is a marriage of the person I am married to and I. Dash and I are lucky to be in a partnership where we are very different people and bring very different things to the table, but we're both going to the same place. So Dash and I both did a bunch of drawing for the film. All of the drawing and painting is real physical objects on paper. We're working from Dash's script and storyboard, and he's the director, so he's sort of steering the ship, and then I am the head of the animation department. We're scanning those things, we're putting them into the computer, we're using
You're steering the animation ship.
I'm steering the animation ship. You're keeping me on course though, so
I don't know how to take. We could think about a while and try to figure it out, a better one. But
so we're taking those still images and articulating them so that we have puppets. In other places, we're doing replacement animation or traditional cell animation. And then we have this incredible group of guest stars that are coming in to add life to the film. And it is really just, it's like a visual improv. We've got these great assets that we're working through and just trying to make every minute of the film exciting.
A couple of the things that you mentioned when you described it, I thought was really nice. Like you said, Adam and Eve, and I think that's part of the power of figure drawing, is that, or drawing or art, that it can kind of hold different things at once. Where like this couple at the beginning of the movie, it's like a horror movie, but it's also Adam and Eve. And I think it's something about the way things are rendered. Someone can be like a specific person and then also a symbol of themselves at that same time. It's kind of like just classic kind of art school speak of how something can hold contradictory meanings inside of it. So I think that might be why you said that then. And then another thing is these kind of, there's one other thing you said that,
Adam and Eve, a little like the mythology, Chernobyl.
Oh, and the goal was always that it would be how imagination exists in our world, and that it's not a fantasy film. It's like actual mythological beings in a specific time in a specific place. So there's things that should be kind of like uncomfortably close to the real world. An example of that is like a scene that a normal movie would have cut out is like Phoebe with her fiance in the hotel room, and they're kind of talking to each other, and that would never have been in like Jurassic Park or X-Men or these kind of bigger blockbuster movies that obviously CRYPTOZOO is sort of like a defamiliarized version of, but it's in our movie, and I hope that that was exciting.
Yeah, I think for me it was very exciting because it's a very daring movie. Also takes you to places, it has nothing to do with Disney animation, which is really a corporate vision of the world. So I think you have a very healthy vision.
And yet Disney is referenced constantly in our movie.
I know. But you know, I mean, this is a very edgy film, and at the same time, I loved it. So, is it a little autobiographical? Is that a world that you imagine yourself being? Were you the voices of the two humans or not?
You know, Dash does pull from life when he's writing his scripts, but it's not in the direct translation of a personality that he knows into a personality in the film. He's not, I am not Lauren, I am not Phoebe. Even in the previous film where the main character is named Dash Shaw, that character really has almost no relationship with who the actual Dash Shaw is.
You're making me self-conscious.
Well, it's
No,
good. The Dash
true,
Shaw in
true,
High
okay,
School
it's
Sinking
true.
is an ass. And
Yeah,
you're
it's
not.
true. I think it's pretty aware, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it's not obvious.
That said, there are specific things in the film that are drawn from life. Dash proposed to me because he had a dream in which we got
married at Belle Isle, where you can catch
And
fish with your hands. And there's
yeah,
like a
we
very,
actually did that in
specific-
high school. Like we together were randomly at the river on the day the shad were running, and we pulled fish out of the water with our hands. And so there's these
Cool.
moments of real life that get peppered in, but there is no direct translation from, there is no Joan having uncouth relationships with Yetis in our life.
How satisfying was it for you to get the reception that the film got at the Sundance Film Festival? It's a great platform. I mean, you're all over. I mean, the film is going to run, it's rolling, it's having its own life. And how do you feel about the reception?
It's totally great.
We're
kinda
so
the best.
honored.
It's the best.
It is unbelievable. You know, this film, I watch it and it's a little bit hard for me to believe. I intellectually know the role that I played in its creation, but it seems so much more than I could do by myself, because it is an incredible resonance between all the artists who were involved. And when you get that kind of recognition on the international stage, it's amazing, but there's a disconnect because you're still exactly the same human being that you were 20 seconds before you got the award. So I'm still kind of coming to terms with thinking about myself that way. But I feel unbelievably honored.
For me, I totally understand because it's a great film. Congratulations. But for me, it's wonderful that you're using a tool or a way of expression that was for infants due to big animation corporations, and introduce topics that are very harsh and very real and very disturbing at times, but also beautiful. So I think it's great. I don't know, can you comment something along the line that of what I just said?
You know, for me personally, I never had live action film aspirations. It was kind of always the goal was to make something like this. So I don't think of it as kind of being in opposition to something. It was more like this was always the
thing we most
goal,
wanted to do.
and it took many years to kind of figure out how to make it. But
you know, Dash comes from alternative comics, and comics have also had that kind of arc in culture where, is it just for kids? No, of course it's not. A lot of it's for kids, but there's also people making really profound work in that medium. And if you want to use a medium to do more than it's been done before, that's great.
you know, I'm also so contrarian that I like the kind of kidsy parts of comics. And I think that's present in this movie. I like some of the cartooniness of animation and the broadness of it. So I think there's a real, I guess it, sorry, our cat is.
Just shaking them.
Kitty cat? Can we see him? No, it's gone.
Damn.
I have a kitty cat too. Yeah.
Can you come over?
No, not now.
If I try and move
So,
him, it'll be
you
a
know,
disaster.
some of the Tintin is very beautiful and elegant and sophisticated in the drawing and you know, early like Buzz Sawyer's and other comic strips. So it's kind of yeah, I love comics and animation and really happy to try to continue it.